Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today, I read an interesting article put out by Reuters. I'll include a link to the article in the description below. In this article, the author discussed how Nissan is going to offer buyouts to U.S. employees and also freeze pay. This comes after Nissan already announced up to 20,000 job cuts. My friends, this is really sad to hear about, and my heart goes out to these employees who may be impacted. If they do lose their job, I hope they're able to secure new employment in short order, and I hope the new jobs that they get pay similar to what they were earning in the past. I really wish Nissan would get back to basics. I think this could really help the company. I think back to an old neighbor of mine who had a Datsun. Some of you may remember that we had Datsun before we ever had Nissan. My neighbor's Datsun was yellow and it had tan interior, and it was a bare bones vehicle. It had a manual transmission, crank up windows, manual locks. It did not have all of the bells and whistles that you find in a modern vehicle. But that car was affordable, reliable, and it was easy to maintain. My neighbor had a large estate home with a pond and a lot of trees. He was often found cutting down trees with his chainsaw, chopping up wood. He would sometimes haul the wood around his property in the trunk of that Datsun. Once, he got his John Deere lawn tractor stuck in the mud by his pond, and he pulled it out with his Datsun. He abused this Datsun. He treated it like it was a work truck. He wasn't taking this Datsun into the dealership and having it serviced regularly. He often would delay maintenance on this vehicle, but it was tough as nails. He had that Datsun for years, and it was relatively trouble-free for him. This Datsun was a small car. It was comparable to the size of some of the old Toyota Corollas. The modern Toyota Corollas are a lot larger. In fact, the modern Toyota Corollas are about the same size as my 2004 Toyota Camry. They have gotten larger throughout the years. But this Datsun was a small car, about the same size as the older Toyota Corollas, and in my opinion, just as durable. I think Nissan should entertain the idea of manufacturing an entry-level vehicle like that again. Now, I realize we live in a different era, and the company has to comply with a lot of government standards, including safety standards. So that car is going to need to have certain safety features to comply with the government standards. But beyond doing that, build it so that it is basic, affordable, reliable, and easy to service. Put the alternator at the top of the engine so it's easy to change out. Locate the starter so that it is easy to get to and easy to change out. Put the heater core in a location where you don't have to tear the entire dashboard apart to replace it. Put a stainless steel exhaust system on the car so it doesn't rust out. Over-engineer a basic 4-cylinder engine so you don't have to worry about the timing belt snapping and destroying your engine, or the timing chain stretching and causing engine problems. Don't use a cheap plastic intake manifold like a lot of manufacturers use nowadays. Have a metal intake manifold. Source some good quality rubber hoses. Use good quality parts from suppliers that can be trusted, not from suppliers that are providing the least expensive option. I think it's still possible to manufacture an entry-level basic vehicle that is affordable, reliable, and easy to service. And if Nissan could do that, they could set themselves apart from all of the other vehicle manufacturers out there. A lot of other vehicle manufacturers think they know what Americans all need. And they are all trying to incorporate a lot of features into their vehicles. They all have these big screens. They all have the sport seats. They all have big aluminum rims with low profile tires for good handling. There's a segment of the American population that doesn't want that. I like steel wheels like I have on my Toyota Camry. They're not going to crack when you hit a curb. You can pound them back out. And I don't have low profile tires. I have big, thick tires. It's a softer ride. It's more forgiving if you hit a pothole. Also, they're cheaper to replace. It's just like work trucks. Go to a Chevrolet dealership, a Ford dealership, a Dodge dealership, and try to find a bare bones work truck. When I sold vehicles decades ago, we had a General Motors work truck on the lot. It had this really durable bench seat. It almost looked like some type of burlap material. The roof on the truck had no headliner. It was just painted the same color as the body. It had crank-up windows. It had manual locks. It had a manual transmission, but it had air conditioning. And if you're working out in the heat, you want to have air conditioning, but you don't need all that other stuff. And I always thought that was a very practical work truck. We're talking about a work truck here. Who wants to buy a $60, $70, $80, $90, $100,000 truck and use it for work? I would cringe at the idea of hauling debris in one of these expensive trucks. It's just hard to find a bare bones truck or a bare bones car anymore here in America. Nissan could do this. They could get back to basics and manufacture something like that old Datsun. A lot of Americans cannot afford these new vehicles. The average new vehicle price in this country is now close to $50,000. In order for some Americans to afford these new vehicles, they have to stretch out the payments to 72, 84, or 96 months. Who wants to do that? You can really end up in a terrible negative equity position doing that. If Nissan could manufacture one of these affordable, entry-level, reliable vehicles that's easy to service, someone could be able to finance it for 48 months or maybe 60 months, worst case scenario. I know a lot of Americans want a fancier vehicle with all the bells and whistles, but many can't afford it anymore. So let's have another option that's available in the marketplace. And I think this could potentially bode well for Nissan. Maybe this is what we need here in America right now. Would I buy one? Sure, I would consider it. I really liked when Toyota came out with the first Yaris sedan. It was a very basic vehicle. Automatic transmission, air conditioning, crank-up windows, manual locks. You could get power windows and power locks if you want it. Very basic, very durable car. Watch the Car Care Nut channel sometime. He talked about the Yaris and how that is a tough vehicle. Other than some wheel bearing issues, even the Yaris vehicles that are not well maintained still hold up well. Nissan could over-engineer a basic 4-cylinder engine and a very basic transmission and make it tough as nails so that even with abuse, it's going to hold up. They could develop a great reputation for building a reliable, affordable car that's easy to service. And I think there would be Americans that would gravitate toward a car like that. You just can't find that anywhere else. Go looking for a new one on any dealer lot. I don't care if we're talking about Nissan or General Motors or Stellantis or Honda. You're just not going to find it. You go to a Honda dealership, you can find a Civic. You're going to have a hard time finding one that's bare bones. It's still going to cost you quite a bit of money. I think there's an opportunity for Nissan right now to capitalize on. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.